Well, welcome everyone. My name is Katie and I work at the Sacramento Public Library where books are just the beginning. Thank you so much for joining us for our Everybody Yoga program. We are so excited to offer this to you and to have local yoga instructor Kat Sun with us today. And we'll get to her in just a moment, but first I wanted to mention a few things. First is that I will be in the chat for the duration of the program, so please feel free to share any questions or comments over there and I will get back to you. If you're having any audio related issues, please exit the program and re-enter. We find that typically doing that will solve that issue. And if you need closed captioning at any point during the program, please click the live transcript button, which you'll find at the bottom of your screen. You'll click that, wait just a moment, and then you'll see that closed captioning pop up and you can follow along. And I will make sure to put that into the chat as well. And also, we ask for your grace and understanding in this virtual world that we are in right now. If there is some kind of delay, one of the hosts drops off, or we experience any other type of interruption, please allow time for us to resume the program. And also, this program is being recorded and will be shared to our YouTube channel, which you can find under Sacramento Public Library. And it should be available by next week, so you can look for it there and revisit Kat's wonderful yoga demonstration or share it with a friend. And make sure to stick around after the yoga demonstration today for a short book talk on a title related to this week's theme of compassion. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn things over to Kat. So Kat, take it away, and everyone, please enjoy.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Nice to see all your faces out there. So as always, I'm offering this from my home, and so I apologize in advance if there's some background noise. I've got cats and dogs and a father and neighbors, so delivery. So just roll with it if you hear any excess background noise, please. And then, as always, it's good to have some yoga props nearby if you need it. Sorry. So if you have yoga blocks or yoga strap, a blanket or some cushions. If you don't have the yoga strap, just having a belt that you use around your waist or a necktie or anything that'll help you extend your reach will be helpful. And then with that, we'll go ahead and get started. So today's theme is compassion. So we'll be working with that concept of compassion and just some heart-opening poses and dropping in to tune into ourselves. So with that said, let's go ahead and we'll get started on our backs. So just find a comfortable position on your back, on your yoga mat. If you're on a hard surface and your yoga mat's thin, you might want to have a blanket over the mat just so you have a little extra cushioning, just if you find that the floor is too hard. So just make sure you're comfortable and you have what you need nearby. And then have your strap, your blocks, your props nearby you. And then we'll go ahead and get started on our backs. So once you're on your back, I'll tilt my camera a little bit. Once you're on your back, you can have your legs straight if that's okay for your back. But if you've got some back issues, and a lot of times people find it's helpful to have the knees bent, in which case you can have your feet slightly wider apart and your knees knocking in towards each other, and that just helps to release the back. Okay, so we're going to start on our backs, and if coming down onto the floor is not appropriate for you and you'd rather stay seated, of course, please, as with all these instructions, you listen to your body first. So anything that I instruct that doesn't work for you, please defer to your own body and inner intelligence. So once we're on our back, you might close your eyes or you can soften your gaze and just allow yourself to arrive. And if you're choosing to stay seated, maybe seeing if you can just find a nice tall spine. Okay, you're on your backs. You can have your arms resting on the floor next to your body, or you can have the hands, palms on the body. Wherever you're at, taking a few moments to just arrive together. So as you settle in, you might feel the muscles along your spine relax as the spine is supported by the floor. And just start to notice how you're feeling in your body this morning. As always, we take the first few moments to arrive and to connect within ourselves. So just noticing, how are you feeling in your body this morning? Noticing, how are you feeling in your breath? What's the breath like? And also just noticing how your mental, emotional body is doing this morning. So just taking it all in as information. No need to change or manipulate anything. But just starting to bring our awareness from that outer sensory to inward sensing. So noticing within, how are you feeling this morning? How are you doing this morning? And as you start to bring your awareness inwards, maybe you can start to notice your natural breath as it moves in and out. So if your hands are out to the sides and it's comfortable, you might place your hands on your body. And as you breathe in and out now, see if you can just feel the rise and fall of your breath. So as you inhale and the lungs fill up, the diaphragm presses down and the abdomen expands outward a little. And as you exhale, the breath empties out of the lungs, the diaphragm lifts back up into the rib basket and the belly hollows. So just riding the wave of your breath a few cycles. Now we're going to just do a little bit of breath work to start. So with your next inhale, see if you can just pause for a slight beat at the top of the inhale. And then feel the exhale. Allow the breath to exhale out. And again, just so you can feel a slight pause at the bottom of the exhale. So no forcing. Just seeing if you can notice the slight pause. There's a natural pause. See now if you can make your inhalations and exhalations about equal length. So I'm not going to count, but you can do an inner count for yourself for a length that works for you. So maybe you're going to inhale to a count of 3 or 4, and then exhale to the same count of 3 or 4, making sure no strain is happening in the body. So if you find yourself straining at all while we do this breath, then just back off. So again, inhaling to whatever count you're working with. Feel the slight pause. And then exhaling to the same count. Feel the slight pause. Just moving in and out, equal breath in and out. As you settle into that, if you feel ready, the next time you inhale to that same count, you take your slight pause. Then as you exhale, see if you can exhale just a little bit longer. Maybe if you're inhaling to say the count of 3, see if you can exhale to the count of 4, right? Just starting to slightly elongate the exhale. And keep it easy, keep it soft. And as you settle into that, the next time you breathe in, you're still breathing into the same count. You feel the pause. And then as you exhale, maybe you can elongate the exhale just another beat. So if you're inhaling to say at the count of 3, see if you can maybe exhale to the count of 5. But again, don't force it. So today's theme is compassion. Oftentimes, we find it easier to be kind with others, but we can do a lot of hard self-talk. So letting this practice this morning be a place where you really practice compassion with yourself, cultivating the practice of inner listening, inner honoring. So be gentle with yourself, no forcing, just accepting, acknowledging, being with where you're at. As you continue with that elongated exhale, maybe the next time you can double the length of the exhale to whatever the count of the inhale. So again, no forcing. You're just seeing if that is available. Seeing if the invitation is there to elongate that exhale without being attached to the result. So as we elongate the exhale, we help our nervous system to begin to calm, to the rest and digest. And just completing the round you're on, and then letting your breath come back to your natural breath. And your natural breath, just noticing how you feel, noticing if there are any shifts. So again, from that outer sensory awareness, we're really starting to cultivate the inner sensing. So just noticing if there are any shifts within from just a few moments of breath awareness. Seeing what your breath is like, noticing what your mental, emotional state is. And then take a moment and just gently open your mouth slightly and wiggle your jaw a little side to side. Soften your jaw. You might stick out your tongue and stretch out your face. Just let the muscles of the face relax and soften. And then from here, we're gonna go ahead and bring our arm, if you're laying down, you're gonna bring your arms back out to the sides into a T. If you're seated, you can just let your arms rest on your lap or whatever's comfortable for you. Let's take an inhale with our head in neutral. And as you exhale, just gently turn your head to the right. Inhale, bring your head back to neutral. And exhale, gently turn your head to the left. So like that, with your breath, inhaling to center, exhaling, rocking to one side, inhaling to neutral, exhaling, rocking your head to the other side. The next time you rock your head to the right, if it feels okay for you, you can keep your head turning to the right for a moment and breathe into the left side of your neck. And as you're ready, you can bring your head back to neutral on the inhale and gently rock your head to the left as you exhale. Breathing into the right side of your neck. And then inhale, bring it back to neutral. Okay, from here, we're gonna bring our arms, if you're on your back, you bring your arms up towards the sky. If you're in a chair, you just bring your arms out in front of you, right? And then we're gonna interlace the fingers and press our palms away from us. Now start to press the index finger side of the palm away from you faster than the pinky side. And then can you shrug your shoulders forward or up to the ceiling? Then shrug your shoulders up to your ears. And then send your shoulders back and slide your shoulders down the back towards the hips. Keep your shoulder blades moving down the back. Keep pressing through the palms. With your next inhale, start to take your arms up overhead, just to whatever degree works here for you. And then pressing the palms up. If you're seated, you can ground down through your sit bones to lift up. And with our exhale, we'll release the clasp, let the arms sweep back down by the hips. And then again, inhale, bring your arms out in front of you, either in front or up to the sky. And interlace your fingers with the other thumb on top, so the awkward clasp. And then again, press your palms away from you, so the back of the hand is facing you. And can you press the index finger side of the palm away from you faster than the pinky side? And then again, shrug your shoulders, make that big shoulder circle. So lift those shoulders, send the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Keep your shoulder blades sliding down your back. And again, with your next inhale, take those arms up overhead, press the palms up and away, take that big stretch. And exhale, release your arms. Good. All right, and then from here, if you're on your back, let's roll off to one side. We're all gonna come to a seated posture. So if you're seated on a chair, see if you can come to the front edge of your chair. If you're on the floor, maybe you've got a blanket or a cushion or something you can sit up on just for a little bit of lift. And then take a moment to arrive into your seated position if you're just coming up. So everybody, can you rock more towards the front of your sit bones? So if you're sitting up on a little lift, come towards the front edge of it. And then see if you can really rock to the front edge of your sit bone. Feel yourself like you're bringing your low back in rather than rounding back. Try to hug that low back in towards the spine. And then let's shrug our shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Again, big shoulder circles. Forward, up, back, and down. Good. The next time your shoulders move down the back, take a beat. Grounding down now, can you lengthen up through the back of the neck, back of the skull, up to the sky? So just take a beat here now. Feel yourself in this vertical axis. Feel the rootedness of your sit bones grounding down into the earth. And from that sense of being grounded and connected into your support, lengthen up through the spine. Reach the back of the neck, back of the skull, straight up into the sky. And then check in with your breath. And then notice your shoulder blades still sliding down the back. And then see if you can gently hug your navel in and slightly up. Let your heart be buoyant, collarbones broad. Good. From here, we're going to sweep our arms out to the sides, inhaling, palms up, palms touch at the top. Hands together. As you exhale, bring it down your midline. Exhaling. And if you're on the floor, you can touch the earth. Otherwise, just send your hands down towards the earth. Again, spin your palms up. Inhale, sweep those arms out and up like you're gathering all this goodness. And you're going to exhale as you bring it down from the heavens, down through you, down, down, down into the earth. So becoming this intermediary between earth and heaven. Inhaling again. Inhale. Exhale. Bring it down through you. Good. This time we're going to inhale, palms up, palms touch at the top. And as you exhale, just bring your palms together in front of your heart. Let your thumbs gently touch your sternum. Again, can you broaden through the back body and the front body? Shoulder blades descend, back of the neck, back of the skull, elongating up. Feel your heart center now. Imagine like you're activating your heart center and tune in. If you like to dedicate your practice or set an intention. Otherwise, just tuning in, noticing if there's any message, noticing how you're feeling. Take a deep breath in through your nose. We're going to exhale, clear it out through your mouth. Again, big breath in through the nose. Fill up the belly, the lungs. Exhale, clear it out through your mouth. One more time. Big breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through your mouth. Good. And then we're going to again release the hands. Inhale, sweep those arms out and up. Now as you exhale, spin to the right. Let your arms come down. So right hand behind you, left hand can reach for your right knee. Arch your low back in. Root down through the sit bones and lengthen tall through your spine with that inhale. It's with the exhale that we start to move into our twist. Imagine the twist moving up the spine. So your neck and your head are last to turn. So spinning the navel back, the chest back, the neck, the head, the gaze back. Take a breath. Notice how does it feel to breathe in this twist. Take another breath in. As you exhale, just turn your neck and your head forward. Look over your front left shoulder. Breathe into the right side of your neck. Good. And take a breath in here. As we exhale, we'll release, unwind. Inhale, take your arms out and up again. Good. Exhale, spin to the left. Bring your left hand down, right hand reaching maybe for that left knee. Again, take that first inhale to ground and lengthen. Get the length in the spine. And then it's with the exhale that we move that twist up the spine, spinning the navel, the chest back, then the neck, the head, and the gaze back. Keep your low back arching in. Keep your shoulder blades moving down the back. Feel your collarbones broad. Take a big inhalation in here. Again, notice what does it feel like to breathe in the twist on the second side. Take another inhalation in, and with your next exhale, again, turn your head over the front right shoulder now. Breathe into the left side of your neck. Good. Nice breath in. And with the exhale, we're going to unwind out of that again. Okay, let's inhale, sweep our arms out and up again. This time, keep your right arm lifted, bring your left hand down. If you're on the floor, you can walk your fingertips away from you on the floor. If you're in a chair, just point your fingers down and away from you, like a kind of a diagonal line, yeah? And then let's go ahead, ground down through that right sit bone, lift up through that right arm, get length on the right side, and then exhaling, we're gonna gently tip. So actually, if you're in a chair, you can bring your left hand and hold the side of your chair. And then gently tip to the left. Good. Another breath in. Nice breath out. Grounding down through that right sit bone. Inhale, both arms up. Okay, keep your left arm lifted. Ground down through your left sit bone. Bring your right hand down. So again, fingertips walk away from you on the floor, or bring your hand to hold the side of your chair or press into your support. So lengthening through the left with the inhale, and then exhaling, we're going to tip it to the right. Are you able to keep that left shoulder though down? So try not to let that shoulder creep up into the ear. Think about shrugging that shoulder blade down the back as you ground and lengthen, reaching that left hand for the right. Good. All right, next inhale, both arms up again. Okay, keep your right arm lifted again. Exhale, bring that left hand down. Again, walk your left fingertips away from you, or this time, if you are in the chair, point the fingertips away from you. We're going to root down through that right sit bone, and now we're going to bend our right elbow. Hold on, don't tip. Bend the elbow, and we're going to tilt our head now to the right. So we're stretching out the neck. Yeah, there you go. Good. So breathe into the length of the left side of the neck, down into the length of the arm. Maybe can you feel it? If you're on the floor, you can walk the left fingertips away from you. If you're on a chair, just keep pointing the fingertips away. Breathe into that. Beautiful. Now keep your head tilted. You're just going to release the top hand off the head and bring it onto the right side of your face, and use your hand to help your head up. Good. And then let's just take a big shoulder circle. We're going to inhale again, sweep your arms out and up. Okay, keep that left hand lifted. Bring your right fingertips down onto the floor, or fingertips pointing away if you're in the chair. We're going to bend the left elbow, and then when you're ready, tilting your head gently to the left. So the neck is a delicate, there's a lot going on at the neck joint, so make sure you're gentle, right? You're compassionate here with yourself. So moving with loving kindness for yourself. Good. Breathing out into the right side of the neck, down the length of the arm. Noticing if one side's different than the other. So you're always listening within. You're tuning into what your body's telling you. You're honoring that. Okay, when you're ready, take that top hand off the head. Keep your head tilted. Bring that hand to the underside of your face. And with a loving gesture, help your head up. Good. Okay, big shoulder circles again. Now, if you're seated on the floor with your legs crossed, you're going to uncross and cross the other leg in front or on top. If you're seated in a chair, or you're in a different position where the legs are symmetrical, then just stay as is, as long as you're comfortable. We're going to bring our hands onto our thighs or our knees. And now we're going to start to circle our chest over the sit bones. Okay? So you can make that circle as small or as big as you like. But see if you can link the movement with your breath. So maybe you inhale as you circle forward, and you exhale as you round it back. Just find a breath pattern that works for you. And rather than like doing it super fast, see if you can slow it down a little bit, making sure you're linking your movement with your breath, and you can feel as you circle? Can you feel the weight shifting on the sit bones? Good. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to switch other directions. So circle it the other way. Great. Beautiful. All right. Go ahead and bring it back to neutral. So hands still on the knees. With your next inhale, rock towards the front of your sit bone. Bring your heart forward. Imagine you're expanding the front body. Maybe you can even look up a little bit. As you exhale, reverse, press into your knees and round back, chin to chest. So just forward and back. So we do that cat-cow pose on our hands and knees. Here we're doing that cat-cow but seated. So feeling your spine now, undulating forward and back. As you inhale, imagine you're getting space in the front of the space between the vertebrae. And as you exhale and you round back, you're getting space between the vertebrae and the back body. So just inhaling, exhaling, moving with your own breath. Rocking forward and back. Okay, you can keep it just like this with the hands on the knees, or next time when you inhale, if you want, you can open your arms wide and really shine your heart forward. As you exhale, you can give yourself a big, big, big bear hug in. Inhale, open. And if you're using the arms, as you exhale, just let the other arm come on top. So you're alternating which arm wraps over on top as you hug in, yeah? So just a few more cycles. Opening and closing, flapping those heart wings open and close. Good. All right, beautiful. And then the next time we inhale, pause here. Now make fists with those hands and circle your wrists out to the sides. Good. And then circle your wrists the other way. Okay, make big palms like you're Superman and you're keeping those locomotives apart. I don't know, some of you might be too young for that reference. It's from the cartoon. Okay, and then let's go ahead and again, let your right hand come down and we're just gonna tilt to the right with that left arm reaching. Inhale, bring it back up and exhale, tilt it to the other side. Good, inhale up, palms together, and bring your hands down. Okay, so from here, we're gonna come onto hands and knees. Now, if that's not appropriate for you, feel free to stay in your chair. We're gonna just do cat-cows on hands and knees. So you can just do the cat-cow we just did a moment ago, seated again, okay? If you're coming onto your hands and your knees and you've got sensitive knees, you can have a blanket or some extra padding underneath your knees. If you've got sensitive wrists, you can make fists and just put the knuckles down on the floor if having your palms down doesn't work for you. Otherwise, if it's available, you can bring your big palm, big, broad palms down onto the floor and ground the root of the index finger down, then the root of the thumb, and then the other 3 fingers. So again, if you're seated in a chair, just again, rock to the front of your sit bones, hands on your knees or your thighs. Again, we're going to inhale, broaden your sit bones. If you're on hands and knees, think about lifting your sit bones wide apart and up towards the sky. Let your heart come forward. And then exhaling, rounding, tailbone down, kidneys lift, chin to chest, crown of the head towards the floor. So just cat-cow in a few more cycles. Feel the undulation of your spine with the ebb and flow of your breath. Good. Getting some movement through the spine. Imagine you're helping the cerebral spinal fluid to like pump through the spine. Good. And then from here, let's all bring it up to standing. So just find your way up to standing pose. And we'll just do, so in standing, you don't need to have a chair. So I'm going to demo what we're going to do first because we got lots of different people here, lots of different levels, and I can't really see everybody in those little boxes. So I'm just going to demo. So we're going to do half sun salutations. So you don't have to have a chair, but you can use a chair if you like, especially if you balance is a little tricky or like coming forward, you tend to lose your balance, then I recommend having either a chair or a piece of furniture or something, okay? So this is what we're gonna do. I'll just demo it once. We're gonna come into mountain pose, and then we're gonna inhale, we're gonna sweep our arms up, and we're gonna exhale, and we're gonna hinge forward. So you can bend your knees if you like. You can bring your hands onto your thighs or your shins or the chair, and you're gonna lift your heart up halfway. Kind of like we just did the cow pose. And then you're gonna exhale, and you're gonna fold. We're gonna press into the feet, and we're gonna bring it back up. Okay, so that's basically the half salutation. So we're gonna get started. So if you need a piece of furniture, make sure you have something there to support you. And then come into your standing pose. So take a moment to arrive into standing. Just feel your feet underneath you. You can have your feet hip width apart, or you can bring your big toes together, heels slightly apart. And take a moment to really connect in with your foundation. So feel your feet on the floor before you start adding a bunch of movement and stuff. Just take a beat to really connect in with the foundational pose. So ground the ball of your big toe and your inner heel into the floor. And then from those two inner points grounded, can you spread the soles of the feet, spread the toes, and then ground the outer heel in the ball of the pinky toe. Feel the four corners of your feet rooted into earth. Keep that rootedness, and then the inner arches of your feet lift up. Imagine you're lifting your inner ankles up, you're lifting your inner knees up, and then you're rolling your inner thighs back. And then feel the broadness in your back body, in the sacrum, in this region, and then lengthen your tailbone straight down into the earth. Keeping all of that, let's do a big shoulder circle again. So shrug those shoulders. Next time your shoulders slide back and down, spin your palms forward. Reach the back of the neck, back of the skull, crown of the head up. Feel yourself in Tadasana. See yourself in your mind's eye, again, as the strong pillar of life between earth and heaven, and breathe into that. From that, grounding down, inhale, we're gonna sweep our arms out and up. Palms can touch at the top. As you exhale, bend your knees as you need. You're gonna bring your hands either to your chair or furniture or your thighs or your shins. Keeping your knees slightly bent, bring your heart forward, inhaling, like we did a moment ago in that cow pose. And then exhaling, you can forward fold, bend the knees as you need. Pressing down into the feet, we're gonna rise up, inhaling, sweep your arms out and up again, palms touch. And again, exhaling, swan dive. Yeah, take the support you need. Halfway lift as you inhale, elongate the front of the spine. Folding, hinging from your hip crease as you exhale. Press down into the earth, inhale, we rise. Imagine, it's like a beautiful moving meditation. And again, exhaling, dive. Lift that heart forward as you inhale. Broaden those sit bones back. Good. Hinge and fold as you exhale. Press down and rise. All the way back up to the top. Inhaling. We're just going to do two more. Exhaling, dive. So imagine like you're moving through water. Nice and graceful. Lift that heart up halfway. Inhale. Fold as you exhale. Good. Bend those knees, pressing into the earth, rising on up. All the way to the top. Last one. Exhaling, dive. Good. Bring that heart forward, shoulder blades down the back. Inhale. Fold as you exhale. Nice. Rooting into earth, pressing down to rise, all the way up to the top. Inhaling. And now when you get to the top, we're gonna clasp our left wrist with the right hand. So let me change the angle of my, so clasping the left wrist with the right hand, ground down into that left foot, right? We did this a moment ago. And then exhaling, we're gonna tip it to the right. Good. Bring it back up. Switching hands, grounding down through your right foot, and exhale, tip it to the left. Good. Inhale, bring it back up. Open your arms wide, spin open to the right. Open your palms to the right. And then if it's okay for your neck and head, you can look back at that right thumb. Spin your navel and your chest back as well. Keep your navel and your chest spinning back. Only your head and your neck turn to look forward at your front left thumb. Good. And then inhale, bring it up through center, both arms up. Exhale, open it to the second side. So now the palms are facing the left. You're broadening through the chest, through the collarbones. And then spinning your navel and your chest back to the left. And then your neck and your head and your gaze looks back at that thumb. Good. Breathe in here. Keep your navel and your chest spinning back. Only the neck and the head spin forward and look forward at your front right thumb. Good. Inhale, bring it back through center. And now palms together, bring it down in front of your heart. Good. And now let's shrug the shoulder blades down the back. Okay, so does everybody, hopefully everyone's got a strap or a belt or something. We're gonna do a little bit of shoulder opening to help with the chest opening. So like I said, it doesn't have to be a yoga strap. Anything to help extend your reach a little bit. If you do have one of these yoga straps or you have something with a buckle, I like to actually hold the buckle in one hand so it doesn't flail around and hit me. And then you're just gonna take maybe a couple of feet of distance between the two hands on that length of strap or whatever it is you've got. Okay, so now make sure your feet are nice and steady. So maybe take your feet a little bit wider, like hip width apart, so you feel really grounded. And you can have a little micro bend in your knees, rooting into the four corners of the feet again. Okay, so now pull your hands away from each other on the strap. Feel that. Can you keep that action and bring your shoulders forward? Then shrug your shoulders up to your ears. Take your shoulders back and down. So like you're making that shoulder circle again while you're holding onto the strap and pulling the strap away from each other. The next time your shoulders move back and down, keep your shoulders moving down the back. Keep your tailbone long towards the floor. We're going to inhale, keep pulling your hands away from each other as you start to take your arms up overhead. So maybe they don't come all the way up. You just take it to whatever degree works in your body. Again, remember, cultivating compassion for yourself. So really listening and honoring your body and where you're at this morning. Wherever your height is, you pause and you keep pulling the hands away from each other. You might feel your lats engaging. You feel these muscles here engaging as you work here. Keep pulling the hands away from each other, breathing. Feel your collarbones broadening. Keep the back of the neck long. And then see if you can take your hands back just another half an inch. Good. And then let's exhale. Bring the arms forward and down. We're going to do it again. So don't worry if you kind of missed it because we're coming into it again. Okay. So once you're down, take a moment, shrug those shoulders, circle them, turn your head a little side to side. See how that feels. Maybe open your mouth, wiggle out your jaw. You can shift your weight on your feet a little. Okay. Shake it out a little. And we're coming into it again. So when you're ready, ground into the four corners of the feet. Lengthen your tailbone long. And bring your arms forward again. Hug your navel in and up. Start to pull the hands away from each other on strap. Feel those lats engage. Keep your tailbone long, reaching towards the earth, crown of the head reaching up. Shrug those shoulders. So make that shoulder circle. Can you circle the shoulders? Next time your shoulders go back and down, keep that action and keep pulling the hands away from each other on the strap. Take your arms up overhead again. And keep the hands pulling away from each other. Breathe here. Imagine you're breaking the strap between your hands. Imagine you're broadening through your collarbone. Imagine you're broadening the back body as well. And then can you take your hands maybe back just another half an inch? Just walking your edge, not going beyond, but just seeing where the edge is for you this morning. So for some people, you could even take it way back, but as best you can, keep the elbows straight, right? Breathing wherever you're at. One more breath. And then with your next exhale, go ahead, bring it forward and down again. Okay, and again, shrug your shoulders. Okay, we're coming into it one last time. I promise this is the last time. So when you're ready, take your hands in the distance that works for you. Ground into the four corners of your feet. Lift your inner arches. Lengthen that tailbone down. Reach the crown of the head up. Shrug those circles. Circle the shoulders. And then shoulders slide down. We're going to pull the hands away from each other as we take our arms up overhead again. Good. So again, like you want to break the strap. And then see if you have another inch or two, you can slide the arms back. But keep the shoulder blades moving down the back. Okay, so now we're going to floss the shoulder blades. So keeping your elbows straight as best you can, we're gonna start to slide the arms over to the left so that right arm maybe can go behind the head if that's available, and then back up through center, and then slide your arms over to the other side. Yeah, imagine like you're flossing out all that plaque between the shoulder blades. Back up to center, one more time to your first side. Back up through center, and over to your second side. Good, bring it up, and let's go ahead and bring the hands forward and down. Okay, good, shrug your shoulders. All right, since we're up and we have, actually we're gonna release that. So now we're gonna do a little bit of stretching of our feet and our legs. So you can use a wall, especially if you're not steady. You can also use, if you got a chair nearby, you can just hold, like anything to steady yourself if you need. Or you're welcome to just have your hands on your hips if you don't need anything. So take a moment again, find your mountain pose, find your even standing on both feet. And then we're gonna go ahead, root into the four corners of the right foot, and we're gonna stretch our left foot back. See if you can get your toenails down. Yeah. So right foot back, toenails down, so point your toes back. So here we're stretching out the top of the ankle, top of the foot. And then circle that ankle back behind you. So hopefully your foot is on something that's not too hard. And then we're gonna circle it the other way to see what the range of motion is here for you. And then again, stretch that foot back, point the toes back, and see if you can find the length. Breathe into the top of the foot, top of the ankle. Maybe you can even feel it up into the hip flexor here. From here, we're gonna curl the toes, curl over the toes, so the ball of the foot is grounded, and you're gonna lift the heel. So now we're stretching out the sole of the foot. So lifting the heel, that knee might need to bend, and get a stretch through the sole of the right foot. And now we're gonna ground the heel, so we stretch out the back line of the ankle, back of the knee, back of the calf. So maybe the heel touches, maybe it doesn't. You're just working to ground the heel to stretch out the back line. And if you've got a lot of range here and you need a deeper stretch with the heel grounded, you can also bend the knee to get more of a stretch into the ankle. And just notice what's here for you and breathe into it. From here, we're gonna, again, lift the heel. So again, stretch out the sole of the foot, ball of the foot grounded, toes are curled over. And then when you're ready, curl over the tops of the toes, back onto the front tops of the toenails, stretch out the top line. And then again, circle your ankle. And circle it the other way. Good. And then step the foot up. And we're going to do the second side. But before you move into the second side, just take a moment. Notice, does one side feel different after that? So just notice the effects of it. Okay, and then we're coming to the second side. So again, you can use a wall, you can use a piece of furniture. I happen to have a chair here. Okay, so rooting into the four corners of your right foot, we're going to step the left foot back, toenails down, toes pointing back. So stretching out the front line of the foot, top of the foot. Breathe into it. Notice if it's different from the other side. And then when you're ready, again, the standing front foot, the right knee, you can bend it a little bit so that you can circle the left ankle back behind you. And you circle it the other way. And then when you're ready, again, just stretch it back. Stretch out the front line again. Really grounding the top of the toenails into the floor. See if you can find the stretch all the way up into the hip flexor here. And then from there, we're going to curl over the tops of the toes. So the ball of the foot now is grounded. And lift the heel of the foot to get the stretch onto the sole of the foot. And then from here, start to ground the heel down to stretch out the back line of the ankle, the Achilles tendon, the back of the calf, back of the knee, wherever you feel it here. Just noticing what's here for you. Good. From there, one more time, we're gonna lift the heel. Think about stretching out the sole of the foot again. So the feet do so much for us, right? And we just always take it for granted. And when suddenly it's not working, and then we really notice it. So paying some attention to our feet, and then curl over the tops of the toes one more time. Stretch out the top line, front line. And again, circle out that ankle. See what is the range of motion here for you. And circle it the other way. Okay, great. From here, you can stand again at the wall, or you can use a piece of furniture. I'm mirroring you, so my right foot is grounded, my right hand is on a support, my left hand is on my hip. From here, I'm going to shift my weight into the standing right leg. I keep that outer right hip hugging in. I'm going to come onto the ball of the left foot. So my left toes are curled over, right? And then from here, I'm going to open my knee out to the left. So just doing your best to open your knee out to the left, and then you can rest the left heel onto the right ankle here. Shoulder blades down the back. Find now your gaze. So find your gaze, set it on something that's steady and not moving, and gently gaze beyond it and breathe. Good. Keep pressing the heel into the ankle and that standing foot ankle into the heel of the open leg foot. So we're coming towards our tree pose. And then let's go ahead, spin the knee back forward and release the heel down. You can shake out your standing leg, and then you're going to spin around so your support is on your other side. So now the left leg is the standing leg. The left hand is on the support, whether it's a wall or a piece of furniture. Root into the four corners of that foot, activate that leg. Right hand on the hip. I'm going to come onto the ball of the right foot so that my right heel's lifted, my right knee bent, and then I'm going to start to spin that right knee out to the side, spinning the toes and the knees out. I'm going to rest the right heel onto the ankle of the left foot. And again, find something steady. Just right here, we're just opening. We're working on opening that leg out to the side. Shoulder blades down the back. Lengthen through the spine. Good. Pressing the heel of that bent knee foot against the ankle of the standing leg. Then when you're ready, go ahead and turn that knee back forward and release. We're coming back to the first side. So you can do what we just did as an option. If you do have yoga blocks or you've got something else that you can stack something next to your standing foot. So again, we're starting with the right foot as the standing leg. Your right hand is on the wall or on a support. And if you have like some books or blocks, you can bring it to the inner edge of that foot. And now you step your left foot on top of that. If you don't have the props, don't worry. You can just do it on the floor again, okay, like we just did a moment ago. If you have the props, then you can bring the ball of the foot on the props. And then again, you're going to spin your left knee out to the left. And then again, see if you can bring the heel of that bent knee foot onto the inseam of the standing leg. Just not against your knee joint. So you either want to be below or above the knee, okay? And then starting here, find your drishti, find your breath. For those of you who practice tree pose, it's no problem. If you don't want to use the blocks, you're welcome to just have the foot on the inseam of the leg instead. And then take a beat. You can see if you can release your support of the hands. Find your steady gaze. Find your breath. Okay. And then from there, if you want, you can start to sweep your arms out and up. And if your balance is really steady and you want to challenge your balance, you can even gaze up. Good. And then when you're ready, palms together, bring it back down in front of your heart. Nice. And then if you're using a support, you can bring that hand back onto your support and then turn that open knee back forward and step off. And then shake out your standing leg. Just one more side. So you know where we're headed. So if you are using props, then bring your standing left leg next to your support. The props are on the inseam of that standing leg. So now I've got my right hand on my right hip, my left hand on my chair. I'm going to step my right foot onto the block, ball of the foot on the block, knee is bent. And then when you're ready, you can open the knee out to the side and press the heel into the inseam of the standing leg. Shoulder blades down the back, finding my gaze, something steady. We're just noticing as you come into these more challenging balancing poses, how the weight shifts on the feet, how the feet articulate to keep you in your balance. And then again, if you practice tree pose regularly, no problem. You don't need the props. You can take your feet whatever height along the inseam of the leg, just not against your knee joint. Otherwise, if you're using the props, it's a really great way to start to come into the pose. And if you feel steady, hugging the navel in and up, you can start to see if you can release your hand off of your support. Maybe bring your hands together in front of your heart. Breathing. So most important, don't forget to breathe. So sometimes we hold our breath when we're coming into things that are challenging. So make sure you're breathing. And then if it's good, you want to take your arms up. You can reach your arms up. Keep your shoulder blades moving down the back if you're reaching up. Good. And then if your arms are up, bring your palms together at the top. And with your exhale, slide your hands back down your midline, pressing your thumbs against your sternum at your heart. And then you can spin that leg forward and step off. Okay, and let's shake it out. And I just realized the time. We got to cool it down, so there's time for a reading. So let's go ahead and bring it back down onto the floor. We're just going to come into a little bit of rolling on the floor to come into Shavasana. So whatever you're going to want for your final resting pose, have it nearby, whether that's a pillow for your head or something to cover your eyes or something to put underneath your knees. And if you're not coming onto the floor, then just coming back into your chair. If you are coming onto the floor, let's go ahead and arrive onto the floor. And on the floor, we're going to hug our knees into our chest and just gently rock a little side to side. And then open your knees apart and hug them into your chest and gently rock a little side to side. So just coming here, or you can come into a happy baby as you rock a little side to side. Good. And then we're going to release the legs and just take a beat in Shavasana. So it'll be a bit of a shorter resting pose. So whatever's restful for you, let your arms either rest on the sides, palms up, or you can have your hands on your body. If you want something underneath your head, you can keep your knees bent with the feet wider, the knees knocking in, or you can have your legs straight. If you're seated, just maybe allow yourself to have a good support so you can still stay tall through your ground through your sit bones and tall through your spine. Again, soften your face. Take a deep breath in. Full breath out. Settle in for a beat. Without any effort or movement, just start to notice your breath again as it moves in and out. See yourself now as this beautiful vessel for receiving the breath. And you're welcome to stay down on the floor, fetal position, while we hear the reading from Katie, or you're welcome to roll to one side and press yourself on up. A comfortable seat. If you're coming to a seat, you can bring your palms together in front of your heart. So take your time, there's no rush at all. Feel totally free to linger in fetal position as we hear the readings from Katie. Otherwise, if you're up, you can gently bow your head to the heart. Namaste. Thank you. I'm going to turn it back to Katie now.
Well, thank you so much, Kat, for another wonderful session. And I love the Reminder to pay attention to our feet. I don't think that I do that often, but I need to show some compassion to my feet because they do so much. So thank you for that. And give me just a moment. I'm going to share my screen here so you can see the book that I chose for this week. So for this week's theme, it was compassion, and I selected Compassionate Conversations, How to Speak and Listen from the Heart by Diane Musho Hamilton, Gabriel Menegale Wilson, and Kimberly Lowe. So these authors have combined experience and knowledge in the areas of meditation, coaching, teaching, and mediation, and they all help people learn how to communicate better. We all know that some conversations can be difficult, and we often avoid having them. Typically, these conversations center around race, gender, politics, or religion, and they can be quite polarizing. This book aims to show how compassionate conversations can happen and how differences can inspire rather than divide us. But we need to build the skills necessary to have these conversations, including listening, reframing, and dealing with strong emotions. According to the authors, it's important to learn these skills because conversation is and will remain the most effective way to bring people together. The authors address the fundamental issues at the root of current debates, and I should mention that this book was released in 2020, including social privilege, power dynamics, and political correctness. They use personal stories, modern neuroscience, professional experience, and practical applications to teach the reader how to transform their approach to difficult conversations. The end of each chapter provides opportunity to practice what you've just learned with questions and reflections to help prepare you to talk through polarizing issues. Compassionate Conversations is a helpful guide for effective communication and conflict resolution, and it is available in audio, ebook, and physical formats right now in the library collection so that you can check it out for yourself. All right. Well, thank you again for joining us for Everybody Yoga. And a big thank you to Kat for another wonderful session. We'll be back next Thursday, August 11th at 10 a.m. So we hope to see you then. So to find a library location near you, sign up for a library card, or to learn about upcoming programs for all ages, just go to www.saclibrary.org. So for Kat, myself, and the Sacramento Public Library, thank you so much and be well. Bye.